What's up, guys? This is Shopmaster, aka the Graybeard Gamer, back with another Madden NFL 17, 16. We're going to be talking about it all, but this is Game Changers Live, Episode 8, and I'm just thankful for you guys being here with me today. So, I just want to give a big shout out to everyone who's supporting the stream. Make sure you follow the stream team, follow the EA Sports channel, follow me on Twitch at Shopmaster TV as I stream on my personal Twitch station. But today I got a great show for you guys. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. Let me know if the volume's okay. I know last week we had a problem with the volume, about the volume not being up as loud as it could be. So this week I went into the lab, kind of wrestled with some things, changed some things around, and hopefully it sounds good to you. So let me know in the comment section or in the chat if you can hear me okay. But we got a good show for you guys. We're going to be talking a lot about Madden NFL 17, what we expect, what we want. We'll talk about the poll that I put out today. If you are not following me on Twitter at Shopmaster, go ahead and do that now. Like, just go ahead, go to twitter.com, follow me at Shopmaster, and check out my poll that's pinned at the top. It's a simple poll. You know, it's just asking sort of if EA could put in one more feature for Madden NFL 17, what would it be? And basically, I just list the top 3 features that I've been hearing about since Madden 15 news came out. As far as right now, people are always asking me, Shop, is there any other big news for Madden NFL 17? And I really can't answer that right now. I don't know. I mean, there's still a month to go for development, so they could put in another big feature. And so my top 3 features that I put in my poll are formation subs, defensive assignments, that means best cornerback on best wide receiver, and a CFM app. Those are my top 3. Those are the top 3 that I get questioned all the time. I mean, all the time. There's not a day that goes by where somebody doesn't ask me about one of those 3 features. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll also talk, like I said, some CFL. And we'll also talk about my new challenge that I'm doing, Shop versus the community. I'm challenging you guys to Madden, to UFC. I'll even play some 2K, play someone in 2K. So, guys, make sure you check me out for that too, because I'm trying to start a new series, trying to get my YouTube going a little bit. So I'm going to start a new series, and I just can't wait to Madden NFL 17. So let's go ahead and talk some NCAA football. Now, my man Problem put out a tweet that said, who remembers the time when we used to buy NCAA football to play just waiting for Madden? So, like, NCAA football used to be that game that, you know, even people that weren't really into college football, they always got it to sort of prepare themselves for Madden. So, if you're one of those guys who used to do that, just let me know in the chat real quick. Hit up a 1 if you used to just buy NCAA until Madden came out and then traded your NCAA in for Madden. Because I know a lot of people did that. A lot of people didn't really get into NCAA football that much, but they used it because they felt like it was going to help them for the new Madden that came out. I see my man Perfect 170, Raw Dogs in the house, Raw DI is in the house. But that's what I used to do. I used to buy NCAA football for the longest time until Madden came out. But I think up until like NCAA football, maybe 08, is when I really started enjoying the game, really started liking the game, really started playing the game more in depth and getting into franchise. And one of the things I found out with NCAA real quick was that they were tired of being Madden's little brother. And I felt like their competition, even though there wasn't another NCAA football game out there, their competition was actually Madden. And I couldn't understand why these two games, Madden and NCAA, were developed in the same house, but they had totally different features when it came to some of its core stuff. Now, a lot of the gameplay was the same because they had the same gameplay team, but some of the things that NCAA did, Madden never did it. And some of the things Madden did, NCAA never grasped onto it. So one of the things that I liked about NCAA that I wish was in Madden, and that's what I want to talk about, is what from the NCAA game do you wish Madden had in their game now? So when I think back to like NCAA 14, even 13, they had uh, I for coaching adjustments. So during the game, via the play calling screen, you can actually do some coaching adjustments to say, hey, you know what? We're down. I need a big hit. I want everybody to be aggressive. We need a turnover right here. Get a big hit. Now, when you did that, there was sort of like a risk reward to that for those who never played NCAA football. But there was a risk reward to it. So all your players would try to strip and try to get the ball loose, big hits. But there was a lot of times where they would miss because they're trying to strip the ball, or the guy would bounce off of him if he was holding, both hands. Because on the offensive side, you could do that too, where you could say, hey, you know what, we got the lead. All we need to do is run it out. Hopefully, we get a first down. I don't want you to try to get any extra yardage. Just put two hands on the ball, run straight, and as soon as you get hit, go down. So yeah, that's one of the things I like to tell your team to be aggressive. There was also something for the wide receivers. Tell them to go after the ball. So don't worry about if you're going to get hit or not. I need you to go after the ball on the receiving end. So there was a lot of coaching adjustments that I liked in NCAA football that I wish Madden had. So tell me in the chat real quick, which one do you like? So I'm reading the chat right now, and it says, tell your team to be aggressive, momentum. Yes, draft classes were a little bit more realistic. Also, the coaching carousel. I would love to see some kind of coaching carousel in Madden NFL 17, 18, and above. The coaching carousel for NCAA was awesome. The other thing that I really liked about NCAA, and I want to say it started in 13, was the ability for guys to tell stories and post it to the in-console homepage for the league. So, like, if you just beat up on your rival or you beat up on another user, you can give a recap. You could take photos, post photos with your recap. And I thought that was cool. And I just wondered why Madden never went that route. Why Madden never went the route of user-generated stuff. One of the things that we loved to do in one of the franchises I was in was take great photos that sort of told the story of that game. And right now, you can't really do that. I mean, you can go to a recap and you can see certain plays that you're able to replay. But man, how awesome would it to be able to create your own replay, do your own sort of storytelling, and take snapshots all at the same time. Your dude catches a one-handed, Odell Beckham catch. I want to capture that and put that on the front page. I mean, they can do so many. I feel like EA can do so many things with that kind of thing, and that's something that the user generates. So that's not even something that they have to build in. Perfect says, where are all the people who worked on NCAA now that are out of jobs? They should bring their ideas to Madden. So some of those guys actually work on Madden. I know some of those guys work on other games as well. So some of the guys from the NCAA team still work for EA. I know a couple that have gotten jobs somewhere else, but I agree with you. Like, we should go back, and maybe that's what I'll do next week. Is maybe I'll pop in NCAA football and go back and see what we had in those years that we need to bring to the Madden front. So yeah, home field advantage, momentum. I don't agree with the whole squiggly lines. I think, maybe the squiggly lines if you're a rookie, but those who play in the NFL, I don't think the crowd matters or affects players as much as they did in NCAA. And maybe you feel like I'm wrong. If you feel like I'm wrong, let me know. But I feel like in college, you're more intimidated by the crowd and by the noise and by the chants and the different songs and stuff that gets played. But in the NFL, I don't think guys, you know, I think the crowd does help the home team get a slight advantage, but not to the extent that it did in NCAA football. Daddy Dill 25 says, I miss NCAA. Most of the cool features and the gameplay was so much better. I skipped Madden last year, but what I see for 17, I'm hopeful I will play it this year. So yeah, I always wonder about those guys who are on the fence too. Those guys who feel like, I skipped Madden last year. It really didn't appeal to me. The one thing I will say is that usually those guys who skip see a big difference because they skipped a year. Those guys who like me, who play every year from August to August to August to August, sometimes we don't see the jump that man has made from like 15 to 17 because there was a 16 in between that sort of bridged that gap. So a lot of times we don't see it. And I hate when people compare other games like Halo or Gears of War. I feel like there's no sports game that changes dramatically from one year to the next. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I can't really name a sports game that takes that big of a leap. I mean, I know there's cool features that certain sports games put in their games, but it's not that big of a leap from year to year. Perfect 170 says, I like how if you were recruiting a wide receiver to your team, you had 3 really good wide receivers on your team, you wouldn't get them. Man should do that in free agency. That stops people from just trying to get the best people in free agency. I agree. I agree. If you already have, 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, and all of a sudden Antonio Brown is a free agent, I don't know if Antonio Brown is going to go to that team just because you already had 2 good wide receivers. Now, granted, he's probably better than those 2 wide receivers because I believe AB is the best wide receiver in the league. And I know that's just a subject, a matter of opinion, but I think he's probably 1, 2, or 3. And so if you got the other 2, I'm not sure in real life Antonio Brown goes to that team. So I agree with you, Mr. Perfect. Definitely something right there. So guys, what other things are you missing from NCAA? Are you just missing that it comes out early? Like NCAA used to come out in July, and you usually had a month to play NCAA before Madden. So I think that's one of the biggest things that people miss. People just miss playing a new football game earlier. Now it'd be great if EA put out some kind of I don't know what they could do to make people play more longer, except just make the game better. But that's what I loved about NCAA football. I could hang up Madden for a month, sort of play some NCAA football, and then get back into the Madden mode. But a lot of people love NCAA football. Daddy Dill 25 says, I play NCAA year round instead of Madden every year. Most of my problem was the aggressive catch made the game too easy. My buddy and I play online franchise and we handicap ourselves in free agents and trades. Looks like 17 has fixed my concerns. And then Return of Frag says it was awesome to have so many teams to possibly play. I agree. That was one of the other things is that everybody had their own team. There rarely was, people who was like, oh, I gotta get this team. That's the only team I can get. There's only 32 teams in the NFL. In college, there's a boatload of teams, and so you are able to get your favorite. Maybe the college that you went to. I used to always try to get Howard. You know, it didn't always work out. But if I didn't get Howard, then I got Maryland because I'm a big Maryland fan. So there was just more options. I feel like with NCAA football, especially NCAA football 14. I really wish they would Xbox would allow you to port that game over to Xbox One, because if they did, I probably would be playing that game a lot. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think there's still a chance, um, but we'll see. I think we just need to, uh, you know, talk about it and bring the awareness. I don't know who to talk to though. Who do we talk to bring NCAA football to? Even if it's just NCAA football 14, who do we need to talk to bring it to the PS4 and Xbox One? I know it's not EA because I've talked to the EA guys and they would love to support the game, and I believe the servers are still up. So it's a matter of you know Xbox allowing that backwards compatibility or something. I don't know. It's out of my hands, but I'm really missing NCAA football. Now, guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you go to Twitter and follow me at Shopmaster. I'm going to be taking your Madden 17 questions. So I'm not going to be looking at the chat as much as I'm going to be looking at my phone. If you want questions, I'll be looking at the chat a little bit. But if you want me to answer some Madden NFL 17 questions, whether it's see a film or gameplay, let me know. I've played a ton when I was down in LA for EA Play, so I feel like I have a good grasp. I'm a game changer. I talked to John White about CFM, and I know what the blogs are talking about, and I'm able to give insight on that. So, guys, if you have any Madden NFL 17 questions, let me know. I'm also going to be playing some Madden NFL 17 videos that EA allowed some of us game changers to capture and put up on YouTube. So if you haven't checked out these videos, I'm going to show some of these videos on the stream today. It's direct feed, so it's not off-camera stuff. You won't be seeing somebody's head in the way. This is direct feed Madden NFL 17 that you'll see captured in 1080p. Right from the console, right from the, I believe it's from PS4, so you'll see that. And so I'm going to be doing Cookie Boys video, Good Game Bros video, and somebody else's video already got launched up. So let's see. Looking at my Twitter right now, checking it out. So, guys, some of the things that I wanted to talk about are some of the things that I feel like people are not really seeing. Like John White, who is the creative director for Madden NFL 17. If you're not following him on Twitter, you're missing some of the good stuff that are not in the blogs. He's answering people's questions. there are some things that are not big features, and so they're not, I guess, blog worthy. But if you talk with him and talk to him about CFM, I mean, the guy is good. He wants CFM to be the best. He listens to the community, and he's pretty much answered every question that somebody has put forth his way. It might not be the answer that that person's looking for, but he's honest about it. He'll say, "Hey, look, it's not in the game. It's something that we're looking at. We really want to get it in there, um, and we'll see where it goes." All right, got a question from my man Perfect, uh, Mr. Perfect 170. He asked, "Is there any plays that were added or taken out of Madden 17? I missed the HB direct snap." Um, so I do know this. Talking to Anthony White, who I'm going to try to get on the show next week, who does a lot of the zone defenses for Madden NFL. In fact, he does all the zone defenses for Madden NFL 17. He was telling me that there's a whole bunch of new defensive plays in Madden NFL 17, and that only makes sense because there's so many more different zones in Madden 17 now than before. I think before there was only, curl flat, curl, flat, deep blue. That's it. There was like five different zones in Madden NFL 16. Now in Madden NFL 17, there's about 13 different zones, or 10 to 13 different zones. I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot more defensive plays in Madden NFL 17. As far as offensive plays, I'm pretty sure there's a few offensive plays, but I don't think it's that many. Um, I don't think it's as many as the defense. This one comes from Days the Truth. He says, "Are the playbooks the same plays, or have they made changes to them?" So sort of the same thing. If your coordinator has changed or the coach has changed, I believe the playbook's going to change. So for instance, I don't expect like the Houston Texans to have the same playbook they had last year, or any new coach that's new to that team. I don't expect them to have the same playbook as last year. All right, that came from Days the Truth. Let's see. Aaron Cole says, "Will offensive linemen develop traits change based on performance?" Um, I'm not sure. That's a good question, Aaron. I know offensive linemen development traits. I don't know if they're going to change. Like, you know, I you know what? I'm trying to think of what traits offensive linemen have right now. So I'm actually going to go to one of my CFMs real quick. But I don't think their traits will change all that much. I do know that guys will, you know, traits will change for different players, because that's what one of the things they're talking about is dynamic traits. Let's see if we can. I'm looking up some guy right now. See if I can look up his traits. All right, let me switch this real quick. All right, so we're looking at like alignment's traits right now. And right now, I mean, the only two traits he has is predictability and penalty. Now, will those traits change depending on his performance? His development trait might change based on his performance. But here's the thing about offensive linemen. I feel like their performance is based on their performance is based on the running back's performance. So maybe not necessarily. Um, Looking at the chat right now, Daddy Dill 25 says, "Do you know if they had done a better job with playoff standings and in the hunt late in the season in 17?" So I know that's one of the things that we've talked to John White. Some of us franchise game changers have talked to John White about is making some kind of reference, and this might come as far as commentary, overlays, but there needs to be a better awareness of where you are late in the season as a team. If I'm a team that's right on the outside of getting that wild card, I want the commentating to say, this team really needs this win. I want some kind of graphic to say, one game out of, the last wild card spot. I want all of that. Like those are the things you see in the real NFL when you're watching the broadcast. It's late in the season. It's game 15 of 16, and the commentators are like, "Yo, they need this game to stay in the playoff hunt." That's one of the things we talked to John White. So it's on the radar. I would say it's on the radar. Do I don't know if it's in Madden NFL 17 because I don't know what has changed since the last time I played it. And the last time I played it, I really didn't get deep into a season. So that's one of the things that we're just gonna have to wait and see. Let's see. Somebody else on the chat had something. Sabri 811 said, "Will the cards in MUT look better? And what info do you have about the card design?" Good question. There's been no talk about MUT, not even on the website. I think they're keeping that under wraps. I think they want to get some of all this other information out about Madden NFL 17. I believe you'll hear something about MUT probably mid-July when the ratings start coming out. I think that's when you'll start hearing some MUT stuff. So let's see. Zikopula 27 says, "Are contracts tweaked to reflect real life deals? Feel like unrealistic deals in CFL drastically hinder free agencies and guys getting re-signed for too little money." So yes, I know that's one of the things that the CFL team has worked on. They've worked on contracts and making those contracts a little bit more realistic. They've tweaked that. I actually saw a tweet from John White either today or yesterday about that. Somebody asked him about contracts, and he said that was tweaked significantly. So look for contracts making a bigger splash. One of the things that's good is that with full player editing, you can edit contracts of players that may seem out of balance or some sort. The one thing I will say is that, me, I like the managing aspect of the team, and I hate when, not hate, hate is a strong word, but I just like when other guys mismanage their team and then they cry about it. Like you signed this old guy to a 4-year deal with all this bonus money, and then you get mad because he declined, but you still got to pay him all this money. Like you need to be smarter. And I feel like a lot of times they don't get punished enough because, oh, the commissioner can just clear the cap penalty. Oh, that's unfair. To me, that's unfair. I manage my team. I get rid of my old players. I develop my young players. I don't re-sign players to crazy contracts. Yet this guy gets to offer this free agent all this money, and he's old, and then the next year cry about it, get his salary cap, wiped out, and then sign another big free agent. To me, I think there should be some kind of look, I know each commissioner has their own rules about when they do this, but I've seen it done too many times. I've seen it done because commissioners are unaware of how to manage their team. And so what they'll do is they'll say, hey, look, if you're in a bind, I can help you. I can clear the cap penalty. And now with full player editing, I feel like this is only going to be worse. And I know some of you guys might not agree. You know, some of you guys, you know, I've already talked to says, oh, well, we're going to run our league a little bit different. I'm going to edit, you know, as many players as I want, you know, so the guys will stay in my league. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, let's go back to the Twitter. Got some people that's followed me. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Shotmaster. I'll answer your questions if I know them. And we'll show a Madden NFL 17 video in just a bit. We'll show it at 9:45. So at 9:45, we'll queue up a Madden NFL 17 video. All right, so who is this? Mr. Perfect 170 asks, would it be cool if we got an online tournament like 8 or 16 friends can run a tournament with a bracket? So, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a Madden, and I want to say it was Madden 06, 05? Maybe it was Madden 04. Maybe it was Madden 04. One of the early online Maddens, you know, Madden went online in 03, but one of those used to allow you to set up a tournament. If you're in the chat, let me know if you remember that and what year it was, because I can't remember what year it was. Madden 03. So Perfect 170 said it was Madden 03. I believe you're right. But yeah, you could set up a tournament and it was awesome. And I don't understand, especially, I actually think this is the way that they're going to go with so much emphasis on esports now. There's going to be a market. It's going to be a market for small tournaments. And one of the things that I saw from the commissioner of the esports for EA Sports is that they want to market and help every tournament, every Madden tournament, not just the ones for millions of dollars or the ones that they host, but there's going to be a tier. They're going to market and help those little tournaments, those little Madden tournaments that you want to throw. I know for me, myself, I'm going to be throwing some tournaments, and hopefully they'll be able to help me out. But I know that's one of their missions. They want to do that, so I don't see why we can't do that. All right, let's go again, guys. Follow me on Twitter at Shotmaster. Da Arm says, will CFM consist of real NFL practice squad roster players, or will it be auto-generated? So, good question. And the question is, when you start your CFM, you will have nobody on your practice squad. If you start in the preseason, you know, with the full roster, you're going to have to build your practice squad up. So people that are automatic, who are already on, like I'm a Redskins fan, who are already on the Redskins practice squad are not going to be there. You're going to have to add people to your practice squad, sign people off your practice squad, poach some other team's practice squad player. So no, they won't be pre-filled. It'll be something that you have to do. Now, I'm not sure, like, if you start in the regular season, will practice squad players be pre-filled? I don't think so. I think if you start in the regular season, you're going to have to go to free agency and just pluck people to put on your practice squad. So, good question, though, Dahan. All right, Mr. Perfect 170 asks, when do you feel is the best time to use your XP for players? After every game, mid-season, end of the year, and give the reason why. So, I think before depending on my team. So if I felt like I already had a good team, I actually would wait to the end of the year. Um, because a lot of times I really didn't know what I wanted added. You know, if I had a good team and some of their attributes were already high, I really wanted to wait until I saw if one of their attributes regressed. You know, maybe I use XP to build that attribute back up. If I got a sorry team, like in one of my leagues, I'm taking over the Packers. They've been dismantled. I'm using XP as much as I can on my skilled players. Not necessarily like my linemen or my defensive linemen. Like I feel like my linemen, I wait until the end of the year. Uh, that's a good question, though. I'm curious to see how other guys develop their players. And do you develop guys who have superstar traits differently? I mean, they get XP at a higher rate. Do you upgrade them as you go along, or do you look at different players and you say, okay, you know what? I want to get him this attribute up to a 90. So, like for instance, for my quarterback, you know, I sort of like to get his short accuracy up to a 92, his medium accuracy up to 90, and his deep accuracy up to like a 75. But that's before I do anything else. So I'm not touching throw power for my quarterback unless he has under 88 throw power. I'm definitely not touching throw on the run. I'm not touching play action. I'm not touching speed. I'm not touching agility. I'm not touching any of those things. Just those three attributes. And because he's the quarterback and I need him to win games now, I'm probably going to do those every week or as much as I can to get him up to that spot. So good question, Mr. Perfect. What's up, Philly Chew? I see you in the chat, man. All right, Dahar, I see you. So Dahar was the one who asked about the practice squad. He said his cousin Douglas McNeil plays on the Seahawks practice squad. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll be in free agency, Dahar. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, 2 more minutes. I'm going to show Madden NFL 17 video. But let's go ahead and take another, whatchamacallit. Aaron Cole says, can you tell the difference in running backs as in top tier and bottom tier guys? So, yes. So, I think I said this, and I'm sorry, that comes from my man Aaron Cole at Raw Dial. He asks, can you tell the difference in running backs from top tier to bottom tier guys? I remember saying this last week, is that depending on, you'll definitely see the difference, especially when the computer runs. Certain spin moves, certain juke moves, certain stiff arms, certain trucking, all of those, the higher the rating is in those, you get special abilities to make those moves. So for instance, if you have a high spin move, your spin move is way more effective. Let's say you're a LaShawn McCoy, you got 98 spin move. Your spin move is going to be so much better than, let's say, a Tevin Campbell who only spin move is at 84. So in that respect, you're going to see the difference between top tier guys and lower tier guys. You're going to see top tier guys fake out defenders better. You're going to see them be able to pull off better stiff arms, better trucking, better juke moves than lower tier guys. So you might have a, Roy Halou who, is fast, but his spin move is not good. So he's not going to had the same effect as a LaShawn McCoy, somebody who's way above Roy Halou in as far as his stature. So I do think you'll be able to tell the difference. Guys, if you have a question, hit me up on Twitter at Shopmaster, hashtag it GC Live. I'm answering questions right now. This one comes from Vase the Truth. He says, Shopmaster, I know you can't say specific ratings. However, is the speed nerf down? So I can't talk about specific ratings. And one of the things, that they did at EA Play is they hid all the ratings. So I really couldn't tell who had what rating. A guy was fast, but I really couldn't tell, did he have 96 speed or what? Is speed nerfed down? I don't know. I still feel like speed plays a major part in the game, and I can't wait till we get to a point where it doesn't. And this year it doesn't. I still think it does a little, but again, I think making the other attributes matter will play a big role as well. So, for instance, yeah, this guy has speed, but guess what? He can't make those spectacular catches because he only got, a certain spec catch rating that won't allow him to do certain animations. That's one of the things you won't see. You won't see lower tier guys doing the Odell Beckham, one hand catch anymore. They nerfed that down. You won't see them doing aggressive catching or at a higher rate of aggressive catching because their catching is down. So I think it's going to be more prevalent in wide receivers than running backs. But you should see a difference, and speed might not be nerfed down, but I feel like other ratings are going to play just as important role in the game as speed. Maybe not as much as speed, but the gap is closing. All right, it's 9:48. I'm long overdue. Let's go ahead and get you some Madden 17 gameplay real quick. Bear with me. All right, so we are going to have gameplay from a couple of people: Cookie Boy, K-Spade the Prospect, and my man Good Game Bro, Dougie. So let me get this in here. And you might have seen this, but some people might not have seen this. So this is Madden NFL 17 uncut direct feed footage. Let's give it some good quality. Gotta get some good quality. All right.
17 gameplay. Shout out to EA Sports for paying for my trip, flying me down to LA, and allowing me to capture some early beta footage of Madden 17 via the Game Changers program. Definitely thankful for the opportunity, and now here we are with some exclusive Madden 17. So throughout the video, I'm going to be going over all the new gameplay features that I noticed while I was playing the game as we lob it up one-on-one OBJ versus Norman. But that time, Norman got the better of his rival. One of those new features of the game is the tackle battle. You got some Larry Donnell, which is the part of one. Right as I was about to be brought down, the X button showed up, and basically what that is whoever hits that button first either makes the tackle or breaks the tackle, and it's a different button every single time. So basically what that means is don't put your controller down, because that can happen at any given time, and it adds a little bit of extra strategy to the game. And speaking of strategy to the game, you guys saw the new punting meter just now, and special teams is totally revamped this year, especially field goal kicking. Very, very tough. As you guys see, Odell is a tough cover. Josh Norman struggling with it right there. But yeah, special teams is totally revamped. I've been playing Madden since Madden 08, and this is easily the most dynamic I've felt special teams. It feels like the true third part of football along with offense and defense. You guys could run fakes. You guys could block kicks. It's totally new, and it adds so much strategy like I mentioned before. I'm really excited to see how people implement it. As you guys see Odell Beckham Jr. get hurt. Just like real life, if you force feed the ball to a receiver, especially throwing up lobs, they'll get hurt. And I just got my best player in the game here, Odell Beckham Jr. I gotta take care of that man. You guys see the cool camera angle right there and the cool pitch to Rashad Jennings, who is gonna take it in for a touchdown. Now you guys saw the red box before I ran the ball. What that red box is, it shows you guys how many defenders are in the box and whether you should run the ball up the middle or not. We still ran the ball, but we ran a pitch. By the way, that pylon cam, definitely sick. But yeah, it definitely helps you as you're trying to run the ball. It gives you more insight whether you should run or passes. You guys see the tackle feature coming right there, the tackle battle. That time we won it. That time we crushed that man. As you guys see Odell Beckham Jr. back in the game, thankfully. Over 100 yards. And we call our final timeout. And once again, these new camera angles are pretty cool. You guys are going to be seeing a few Odell Beckham Jr. versus Josh Norman camera angles that just blew me away while I was playing the game. As you guys see right before half, we're looking for Odell Beckham Jr. versus Norman. Oh, he punches it out, and it's almost picked off with 3 seconds left. And look at the trash talk. That just blew me away when I was playing the game, man. That is so cool. It's just like real life when Odell and Josh Norman were going against each other. They were jawing at each other non-stop, and look at Norman make a great play on the ball using the new SWAT feature in the game. If you hold down the X button, you get animations like this, and this is what I'm talking about, the new camera angles. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I know that some people skip those things, but it's really cool to watch those replays if you take the time. As you guys see right before half, OBJ. Oh, that's a touchdown over Norman. Now, I'm a Giants fan, so I definitely like seeing OBJ get his. I mean, double coverage definitely helps, but sometimes you leave a receiver one-on-one, you leave yourself able to give up plays like that, especially to one of the best receivers in the game. But the best feature in this game, the best new feature in this game that I noticed while I was playing was defense. Defensive zones are totally revamped this year. No more deep blues getting busted. No more curl routes getting wide open and stuff like that. You guys are going to be seeing an incredible play by Eli Apples. To see Matt Jones on the bike after getting injured right here. Fourth quarter, Kirk Cousins looking. Oh, but he's picked off by Eli Apple, the rookie. I was just mind-blowing the way he played that from his purple route. He came from the flat and got the curl route as soon as the ball was thrown. The anticipation. Defense is going to be real this year, guys. Once again, like I said, adding to the strategy, and I love that. I love the mind game of Madden, so that's fun. You know what else is fun? Just throwing it up to Odell Beckham Jr. and allowing him to do his thing. Josh Norman is getting roasted right now. OBJ over 200 yards of offense. As you guys see, 3rd down and 3, Eli Manning gonna get sacked right there. And I mentioned it before, you guys can run a bunch of fake field goals, so on 4th down 9, I wanted to try it out right here. We're up 14. I figured why not mess around a little bit. Nassib with the ball. Oh, but we fumbled it right there. We didn't really execute it properly. And unfortunately, that put the Redskins back in the game. As you guys see, Kirk Cousins brought his team downfield at the goal line. Cousins looking, finding a man. That's a touchdown. Jamison Crowder is going to take a little selfie in the end zone. They went for the onside kick. They didn't get it. We got to get one more first down to put this game away. And you know who I'm looking for. OBJ. Touchdown. Ball game. Oh man, that's my boy Odell Beckham Jr., baby. Leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed that whip by Odell. If you guys want to see more Madden 17 gameplay, definitely leave a like on the video, because I'll try to bring you guys more of that. Subscribe for more Madden, and I will catch you guys next time.
All right, guys, that was my man Cookie showing out some Madden NFL 17 gameplay. Just want to look at the chat real quick. Gold said, "Did you touch on NCAA already?" And yes, we did. We talked about NCAA football, how much we miss it, how much everybody misses it, and how much we miss some of the features that NCAA football had that you know, did not make it into Madden. So yeah, we did talk about that. I see my man Pooty in here. It says, "Hey, Shop, can we actually set our special team positions in depth chart this year?" No, the only special team position you can set right now is punter and kicker. Those are the only depth charts that you can do. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. Don't think that we haven't talked to them about that though. So I know it is on their radar, and maybe that'll come with some kind of formation subs if we get that. So we'll see. Oh, guys, quick shout out! Make sure you hit me up on Twitter. Go to my profile, and there's a poll on my profile that asks, what are the things that you want to see. In fact, let me go to my poll right now. It says, if EA could add one more thing to Madden NFL 17, what would it be? Would it be best on best, DB wide receiver lock, a CFM app, or formation subs? Right now, there's 212 votes already done, and right now, 42% of the people are saying they want DBC wide receiver lock. They want best DB on best wide receiver. And in Cookie Boy's video, you saw that last touchdown by Odell Beckham was done on Dunbar and not done on Josh Norman. So you have to wonder, like, those are the things that makes a difference. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I know a lot of people will watch that video and say, oh my goodness, Odell Beckham is catching everything. But let me tell you something, that video was edited. He force-fed Odell Beckham Jr. He threw to him every time he could. So the catches that you did see, he had seven. At one point, he had 7 catches for 204. Believe me, he threw to him at least 15 times for those 7 catches. Let's see. Let's go back and answer some more questions. My man Amazon Dodden said, Shop, did you notice the auto alignment feature while you were playing? If so, how did it impact the play? So I didn't quite see the auto alignment feature. I think that's one of the things I really have to talk to Clint about. And like, what does it actually do? I want to say auto alignment just means that when you come out, you automatically align to the person that you're checking. But if I'm wrong, let me know. What else? Mr. Perfect says, did you get mad? Do you get mad when people resign players and free agents to big deals, but the money is in his contract, but no bonus? So if they cut him, yes, yes, Mr. Perfect. I get mad at that all the time. Like, there's no way that you should be signing guys to these big contracts with no bonuses. Because like you said, you can sign them, and then as soon as you're done with them, you can go ahead and cut them, and there's no, you know, there's no, there's no penalty against you. There's no cap penalty against you. All right, my man Raw Diaz asks, as a commish with player editing, will you change a player's position mid-season, or have an owner still wait to the off-season? So for me, I think if I was a commissioner of a league, I would set certain rules. You can change a player during the season to light positions, meaning you can't change a fullback to a wide receiver. You can change a fullback to a tight end. You can change a tight end to a fullback. You can change a fullback to a halfback, but no halfback to wide receivers, no wide receivers to quarterbacks. I feel like now during the off season you do what you want, I guess, as far as changing players. But during the season, you know what? I'm gonna need you to at least have some kind of assembly of what you're doing. Because I understand a lot of times in the off season you might be short a particular position, and you want the ability to put another player in that position and change that position. But during the season, you should have everybody that you want. You got people on practice squad, bring them in if there's an injury. But that's how I would do it. I'm pretty sure different commissioners would do it differently, but that's definitely how I would do it. Yeah, so in the chat, people are talking about, in real life, some cornerbacks don't lock on to certain wide receivers. I agree. Like Richard Sherman, he plays his side and his side only. And a lot of times he's playing a zone. So he's not going to lock up. But then you got those guys like a Darrell Reeves, like a Pat Pete, who will roam and take on the best wide receiver on the other team. All right. um, let's see. Daryl Lee says, who is at Mental Food for You, says, do premier cornerbacks play shutdown man coverage? I noticed the man coverage seemed lighter. Also, I saw a lot of fumbles. Your thoughts? um, I don't know if shutdown cornerbacks play shutdown ball. I mean, it's a fine line because here's the thing. If you have Josh Norman on Odell Beckham Jr. all game, I feel like Josh Norman it should be 50-50. But the one thing that you can't replicate is the user in the video game. So like I said, Cookie, he probably force fed Odell Beckham Jr. probably 18 times in the game. So if he only caught 7 balls out of 18, that's pretty good for Josh Norman if that was me looking at it. In real life, they don't usually get 20 balls a game. I mean, they usually get around 10, 11, 12, 13, depending on the game plan. And I don't know if you can have a shutdown corner in a video game. That's just my opinion, because I think if you have a shutdown corner, then you're basically saying, well, that receiver gets nothing. Like whoever I put over to him, he gets nothing. And then if EA puts in man lock and they put a shutdown corner on your best wide receiver, are you saying that that shutdown corner should be able to shut down that wide receiver all the time? No, it's not going to happen in real life. I mean, I guess it has happened in real life, but it's not going to happen in the video game. They're going to put that guy on the drag. They're going to, do something. That wide receiver is going to catch the ball. All right. Amazon Don says, there has been talk of patch for formation subs. Should we wait for the patch to start our franchise? So, I will say this. I haven't heard of a patch for formation subs. I mean, that's the first time I ever heard of something like that, Amazon Don. I don't know, is that something John White said that they were going to patch formation subs in the game? Because if he did, that would be phenomenal. But I don't think he said that. I think he said, the last time I saw John White tweet something about formation subs, he says he knows it's high on the community's wish list. It's something that they're taking a look at. But I don't think he gave an indication on whether that was going to be patched in or not. Again, if it's patched in, amazing. If I knew that, I wouldn't even have added it to the poll. But if it is patched in, should we wait for the patch to start our franchise? So I feel like, yeah, if you want formation subs, because I don't think that's something that can be automatically added to your franchise once you start, because you're starting an online thing. All right, this next one comes from Mr. Perfect 170. Is offensive holding toned down on big plays this year? No, saw a lot of penalties at EA Play, to be honest with you. A lot of penalties, a lot of offensive holding. Saw some called back-to-back. Saw TDs taken away. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. There was a lot of holding, but again, they base these holding calls based on real life statistics. So in real life, if there's 16% holding calls called throughout the course of a game or whatever, then they're gonna call 16% or so. So I think that's one of the things that I have done is like even in my franchise, make sure all my linemen are disciplined. I'm glad they at least added that penalty trait so that you can do it, but I'm not even sure if that works because I still have seen guys hold guys false start even though they have that trait. All right, Jim Jupiter's 01 says QBs are too accurate overall. Uh, I wouldn't say if they're all accurate. I mean, there are some bad quarterbacks. I think one of the things you will notice this year is you won't see the quarterback sail ball over a wide receiver's head 20 yards. Like he'll just miss it by 5 yards or so. So yeah, um, not looking for man-to-man shutdown, just something that will stop those damn drags. Well, the new zones should kill drags if you know how to work them. Again, one of my favorite new zones is the hard flat, which stays down and guards the flat no matter what, no matter if there's a curl over top or a corner route, he's going to stay on the drag. Thus, if a guy waits too long to throw that drag route, your defender should be right there. All right, going back to my Twitter, do you think we will ever have offensive pass interference called in the game? I have seen offensive pass interference called in the game. Hasn't been done much, but I have seen it done in the game. All right, it's 10 o'clock, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this next video for you guys. This comes from my man K-Spade the Prospect. Love his videos. Make sure you go check him out on Twitter. Let's see what we got. Alright, just gonna put it in right here. Guys, keep tweeting me at Shopmaster so I can answer your questions.
What's going on, folks? It is K-Spade the Prospect. I'm back today with another short Madden 17 gameplay video for you guys. Once again, this footage was recorded in LA at EA Play. I wanted to bring you guys a full meal, you know what I'm saying? With like a main entree, some sides, some dessert. I wanted to get you everything, but I just couldn't. So what I got is these little appetizers. Hopefully they'll tie you over until the game is released. And then I can, you know what I'm saying? I can give y'all whatever you want to see. Starting this game off with a pick. Let's go. I didn't pick my Dolphins, man. Let me be honest. I picked my Dolphins, and I got that work with my Dolphins. So I decided to get a little bit better team. I wanted to play with a back. You know, the moves in Madden 17 that the running backs can do is kind of tailored to the style back you got. I mean, in my opinion, speed backs feel faster. The jukes and spins are better, you know, executed with the speed backs, and at the same time, you can trigger some nice truck animations as well as tackle battles with some of the more physical, bigger backs. So I was just experimenting with a lot of different backs. As you can see, man, I came out here to pick on the Patriots. So yeah, I didn't get, oh my God, look at Big Ben. Oh, I want to talk about that too. I hate that it says injury, because when you see injury, you go, oh no, somebody got injured. But let's face it, in the real NFL, people get hurt like almost all the time, almost every play. Hurt means something got hurt, but they can play through it or they come back. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily injuries out for weeks or whatever. But it don't even matter, man. I probably couldn't beat the Patriots with my Dolphins, but the Patriots gonna get this work. I'm still a Dolphin fan, so I'm still going at the Patriots any chance I get. If you guys got questions on the gameplay, like I said, man, it's a short video, so I'm not gonna say or show everything. If you got questions and it's within what I'm allowed to answer or give my opinion on, hit me up. You know me, I'm out here. So, man, I really enjoyed the experience of getting a chance to play the game early. The biggest thing for me about the game is the learning curve. And I know that sounds crazy because I play Madden every year. I'm sure y'all play Madden every year. This is the first time in a long time where I didn't feel like I could just pick up right where I left off on the last installment. You can't. It feels a little different. So since the linebackers have been taught, since it's been implemented for linebackers to respect gap responsibility and play that right, some of the runs that I'm used to, gashing the defense with, some of that mess wasn't working. And I'm one of those folks who I'm accustomed to just coming right out the gate, getting on sprint. I found that I couldn't do that this year. I kind of had to wait to see what would develop and then get on the sprint later. You know what I'm saying? You guys will definitely see what I'm talking about. Speaking of, you see Big Ben is back. I told you guys his injury wasn't that bad. Tight end, you gotta chip him for me, bro. Tight end, you gotta chip him. Antonio Brown, watch this route right here, man. Antonio Brown is an absolute beast. Get toasted, boy. Get smoked out here. AB is that dude. I had so much fun using AB. It really felt like I was using a top-tier wide receiver in the league, and that's exactly how I wanted to feel. If you got one of these elite players on your team, it should show. You should be able to say, look, I need a play. I want to look for my elite receiver. Does that mean he makes a play all the time? Of course not. Somebody's going to ask me about aggressive catch. I said this on Twitter. Some people believe me, some people don't. I'm not even tripping. Y'all going to get a copy eventually. And, if you're a stand-up guy, you'll probably hit me up and say, man, Spade, you was right. But it is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, a way to stop aggressive catching this year, man. Speaking of stopping, the Patriots need to stop. They out here getting embarrassed, man. So I only brought you guys 1/2 of football. I had a time, restriction of the video. I couldn't give you guys an OD long video, so all I brought you was the first half. Trust me, Patriots fans, these guys did put up a fight in the second half. I ain't want to show that. Why would I want to show that? I hate the Patriots. So I come out here and show you what I did. Oh, this is a nice new feature too, the pylon cam. On that play right there, it wasn't that necessary because it was pretty apparent that that guy was open. I wanted to show you guys, they finished the first half off pretty good. I tried to pick on them one last time, and they was like, all right. McCourty was like, Spade, chill. Like, you not finna just embarrass us in your appetizer video. They came out here in the first half and got that work. Man, I'm super excited for Madden 17. I cannot wait to get a copy of mine. Anyway, folks, that is all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this short appetizer video. If you did, show some love by banging that like. If you're new here and you hype for more Madden videos, man, subscribe, become a member of the Wolfpack. I'm out the next time, folks. Peace.
All right, guys, that is my man K Spade, the prospect, showing off some Madden NFL 17. And yes, we are answering questions live. I saw somebody on the stream ask, is this live? Can I answer a question? He has, my man Daniel Hummus 88 says, do you know anything about loyalty badges? So they haven't done any news about Madden 17 much right now, so no, I don't know anything about the loyalty badges in Madden NFL 17. Alright, still answering questions. This one comes from Vase the Truth. He says, Shotmaster, are there any new defensive formations? Example, in 16, we got nickel, 2-4-5, double-A gap. There are some new formations. I can't think of them right now. I think there's a new nickel formation. I think there's a new dime formation. Again, hopefully I can get Anthony White on the show next week to talk about playbooks and plays and zones and man and all of that. But I was unable to get him this week. My man Amazon at Amazon Don 703 asks, did you notice the auto alignment feature on defense? If so, how did it impact the game? I think somebody asked me that earlier. I did not notice the auto align feature, so I'm not sure how it impacted the game. I see the chat. Will NCAA ever come back? I don't think so. I mean, I know there have been talks, but I don't think NCAA football is ever going to come back. I think it's going to be one of those things where the closest we'll get is for Xbox One to allow NCAA Football 14 playable on the Xbox One or the Xbox Slim or whatever they're calling the new Xbox now. So, guys, all right, let's talk about gameplay. We talked a lot about zones, and I've been seeing a lot of comments saying, you know, man coverage seems to be weak this year. Man coverage was a beast last year. This year is definitely going to be zones. You're definitely going to be playing more zone coverage, and I like that. For me, I'm definitely a zone coverage guy. So I'm looking forward to the new zones. You'll definitely see zone defenders carry routes more, pick up routes. I had a question. Somebody asked me, do zone players know when somebody's getting playmaker out of their zone or into their zone? And yes, they do. They're a little bit smarter with that. And just also want to touch on definitely making sure you hit the X button to swat. And that will pretty much stone the aggressive catch. So using the swap mechanic counters the aggressive catch. You won't get a interception off of it, but definitely it will definitely counter the aggressive catch. Why can't they give us offensive playbooks of NCAA? Because in college you don't run all the formations or playbooks that NCAA had. I mean, they just started getting around to adding some pistol formations in there, but now you're not going to see a whole bunch of wishbones, a whole bunch of stacked running backs in the backfield and stuff like that. It's the NFL. Peacock says counter it 1 out of 10, right? No, I think you'll see a higher rate of knockouts if you use the SWAT against the aggressive catch. I'm just telling you that right now from playing it, from other people who have played it and who have commented on it. You definitely want to make sure you hit the SWAT when you're going up against an aggressive catch. Did the new kick meter seem like something that was easy to adjust to, or will it be a bit of a problem to start? Let me tell you something. The kicking meter is the truth. Like, it's going to be hard at first. I think eventually you'll get used to it, but it's definitely hard at first. If you go above that initial indicator at the top, then it's going to come down real fast. Now you'll get more power, but you'll have to time the accuracy. And then the whole freeze the kicker aspect of it as well, that's going to take some time to get used to as well. I mean, in one of the videos we showed last week, you saw where the computer called timeout, and then it showed this crazy angle for the kick that, I don't know how Toad made that kick, but it didn't even look like it was aligned right. So again, it's something that you're going to get used to. Varying your snap count so that people don't jump and block your kick, another something that you're going to have to get used to. Like, you're really going to have to pay attention to special teams this year. You can't just, oh, he's kicking a field goal, or oh, he's kicking off or whatever. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom, or I don't need to pay attention. I'm just gonna flick the joystick up and kick your extra point. That's not gonna happen this year. All right. But I won't say blocking kicks are overpowered. I would not say that. I've tried plenty of times. I didn't get one block kick, but we saw other videos, especially last week, where you got block kicks. Can you still hold the button at the end of the meter to stall the kick in order to keep people from blocking? Yes, and that's a good tactic to use. Is when that bar comes down and you hit the button, just hold it so that people can't jump the snap and get a good read on the snap. Thoughts on a QB give up option when you know a sack is coming? I would love to see that, J-Rod, because one of the things you will see is a lot more strip sacks. You'll see the quarterback fumbling a lot more in Madden NFL 17. And somebody asked earlier, and I don't even think I saw this. I mean, I answered this, but somebody asked, are there more fumbles in Madden NFL 17? And yes, there are. It's because the quarterback fumbles more. That was one of the things I did like about 16 is that you can hit a quarterback from the blind side. You can hit a quarterback while he's got his arm up, and he would not fumble the ball at all. And not only that, but if he saw it at the last second, he was still able to throw the ball. You're not going to get that in Madden NFL 17 unless they patch it. I don't think you're going to get it. If your guy is like this and you see at the last second, it's too late. If you try to throw the ball, it's gonna be a fumble more times than not. Has there been any noticeable button changes? That comes from Daharm 24-14. No, not that I know. There has not been any additional button changes to the game, which I don't think there should. I mean, goodness gracious, God knows we use all the buttons on our controller as it is. The only thing I will say as far as the button changes is now that you can do different types of spin moves and different types of juke moves, different types of stiff arms. So you're going to have to, I would go into practice mode and practice those. Practice, know when to hurdle when you get that quick hurdle. Know if you hit precision hurdle, he's going to do more of a legs out type hurdle and it's higher. Same thing with juke move and spin move. You press turbo. So here's the deal with the moves. Let's start with spin move. So spin move, you press circle button on your PS4 controller, you do a regular spin move. If you hold down turbo and circle, you get a quick spin move. If you hold down L1, which is the precision modifier, and circle, you'll get like this elongated spin move where you step and then you spin around. And I think that was one of the ones that EA showed with Adrian Peterson in one of their short clips. So same thing with the hurdle. You can do a regular hurdle. You can do a quick hurdle, which you won't go off the ground that much at all. Or you can do a precision hurdle where you pretty much like you're hurling in the Olympics. Like your legs go out wide and that's when you're jumping over people. Then for the stiff arm, you can do a regular stiff arm, which in Madden NFL 16, the stiff arm was obsolete. So any stiff arm in Madden NFL 17 is good. But yeah, a regular stiff arm with the X, a quick stiff arm will give you the boot. You'll just like sort of like a jab. That's the quick stiff arm. So if you're coming up on somebody and you just want a couple more yards, so you want to just hit them, and then they'll be able to tackle you. You just want to get them off of you real quick. You hit them with the jab, with the quick one. And then you have the precision stiff arm, where you actually take somebody's head or their shoulder pad and you push them down to the ground and still going. So whenever you do the quick the quick moves, you don't lose speed. So you'll be running and you do a quick, stiff arm or a quick spin. You don't really lose that much speed. You lose speed if you do a regular one, and then you lose a lot of speed if you do a precision. So I'm thinking like stiff arm, you're close to the goal line. You want to just do a powerful stiff arm because you're going to go down, but at least you want to fall forward over the goal line. So those are the different types of moves that you can do. Again, when I was playing a game, I just went into practice mode and just looked at all of them and looked at how I could pull off all of them. In fact, actually, I got some footage of that I'm hoping that EA can approve so I can show that to you guys. But there's different types of moves that you can do. Alright, what we got here? So guys, if you have any questions, make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Shotmaster and let me know what you think. Let's go ahead at 10:30. We'll watch the last video. This one's done by my man Good Game Bro, who talks about trick plays, and I think he has a field goal block as well in the video. So we'll check that out. But guys, make sure you hit up my poll on my Twitter profile and let me know what do you think. And also, if anybody out there who would like to challenge me in a game of Madden, I'm doing a new series for my Twitch channel, for my YouTube, called Shotmaster versus the Community. We can play Madden, we can play UFC, we can play NBA Live, we can even play 2K. And if the community gets 50 wins before I get 50 wins, then I will give away some more copies of, of Madden 17 when it comes out. So I'm also going to be running another series on my YouTube channel as I go over player ratings for Madden NFL 17, and we talk about what teams are good for CFM and who you want to develop in your CFM if you have this particular team. And that series will also give you another opportunity to win a free copy of Madden NFL 17. So you want to make sure you follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube if you want to win a free copy of Madden NFL 17. I'll have some copies to give away as I always do. So make sure you follow me. I can't stress that enough. Alright, let's check out this last game for this last Madden NFL 17 game for you. So like I said, this one comes from my man Good Game Bro, aka Dougie. Pull it up real quick. Alright, let's get it started.
What's going on, GGB Nation? You guys are seeing it correct. That's Madden NFL 17 gameplay on the channel. Now, a big shout out to EA Sports They flew me out to Los Angeles. They put me up in a hotel, all so I could record some Madden 17 gameplay for you guys. So if you're excited for this video and you want to see more Madden 17 early gameplay, make sure to hit the like button. Let's aim for 500 likes in today's video, and I'll make sure to drop some more for you guys very, very soon. You get a good look at the presentation, but keep in mind when you watch this gameplay today, this is a work in progress. This stuff that you're seeing is not final. I recorded this stuff in June. The game doesn't drop until August, so there's plenty of stuff they're going to be adding and tweaking to this game. We gave them a lot of feedback at the event. To me, this is one of the best playing Maddens I've ever touched. You do see a fullback run here from a punt return. This is a fake, one of the new special plays they have in the game. Keep in mind, this is not going to work every single time. I've tried that multiple times. I got lucky on that attempt. Every other time that I tried it past that, it didn't work. Now, Tavon Austin out here in the open field gets a little too tricky with the ball, and he fumbles, but shout out to the big fella out there picking it up. Now here in the red zone, Jared Goff trying to throw a ball out to the right-hand side. He finds Todd Gurley, and Todd Gurley is going to walk into the end zone completely untouched. Todd Gurley is a monster in this game. When you guys get Madden 17, make sure you use him. He will destroy people at this point. But shout out to the new pylon cam. A good look at that block there by number 68. Another cool thing I've seen in the game is this presentation feature where they spotlight one of the players, whether it's on offense or defense. Here you can see it's the McCourty twin. He's going to do a little salute to the crowd there, and we jump right back into offense here. So we're up 7-0. Get the ball back to Todd Gurley. Look at Todd Gurley, though. Todd Gurley putting on his grown man. I just told you guys he is one of the best running backs in the game. I got to play with a lot of different players. Hopefully some more gameplay dropping for you guys soon. But we throw up a celebration. Todd Gurley goes into the end zone. And celebration this year, instead of being left trigger and A or left trigger and X, it's actually going to be both triggers and the A or X button depending on what console you're playing on. Now 2nd and 7, you got Marcus Mariota throwing it across the middle, and he finds a window with Kendall Wright. Look at Kendall Wright making some moves. People, this is only on All Pro. I'm going to remind you, this is only on All Pro, and Kendall Wright just made some ridiculous moves to get himself into the end zone. The gameplay is feeling so much better. The computer is so much more intelligent. But here we go back on offense, giving the ball back to Tavon Austin. Don't fumble, but look at the move Tavon Austin puts off. That's one of the brand new jukes you're going to see in the game. It's technically a spin move. I was holding left trigger and B there. It takes a little practice to time those correct, but when you do, it is absolutely beautiful. You saw the defender slip and slide all the way down. Now back on offense, we give it back to Todd Gurley. He's been a beast so far. He breaks another tackle, fights his way through, and gets a short yardage carry. And with 2:30 left, the blitz is coming, and off the play action, you see the big fella, number 99, Casey, comes in and gets a huge sack for his team. On 2nd and 18, Jared Goff back again, throws one, and this time it's going to be a fumble. That's right. You guys got so frustrated, I'm sure, in Madden 15 and 16, where you hit the quarterback as they're throwing, and they would never call it a fumble. This year, it can actually be called a fumble, and it's so much better. A lot of those times when you hit the QB, they were able to evade it somehow and not get anything to happen. Those will finally trigger a fumble. Now Mariota's back here in the red zone. He throws it on the run. It's deep to the left-hand side, and that is just out of the reach. If we had a better defender in play there, we probably could have had a chance to pick that one off, but unfortunately, they score again. Now here's the deep punt now by Tennessee. It's tied up 14-14. We are in overtime. We've got to do something. Now Tavon Austin's moving his way out to the right-hand side, and in Madden 16, something you guys probably saw a lot is the CPU would slow down. You could always run those punt returns back to the wide side of the field. As you saw there, it doesn't happen this season. They have proper coverage. It's not going to work. Now Jared Goff slings one out here to the right side. We've got it out to Kendricks. Kendricks jumps and he fumbles. Unreal. We had a chance to score and win this ball game right there, but we tried to be tricky. We fumbled, and we have to pay the price. So now we got to play defense. You see the Kendricks is hurt. To me, that is incredibly realistic. If you jump and get hit like that, you're probably going to be injured. Now DeMarco Murray here, a new Tennessee Titans player, is going to try and get a first down, but we stop him short. With 2 minutes left in overtime, Mariota has the ball. He's surveying the field. He rolls to the right-hand side. Nobody's open, but he finds McCluster. Change of pace backs in Madden 17 are so good. You saw Murray kind of beating us down with the Thunder. The Lightning comes in with McCluster. And now on 3rd and 9, they give it back to McCluster after getting a little bit of breathing room. And this dude is going to go all the way to the end zone. So that's going to be it for today's Madden 17 gameplay. I've got more down below in the description. Let's try and hit 500 likes on today's video. And if you want to see more, leave me a comment below. And I'll try and make sure to get you guys some early Madden NFL 17 gameplay because it's so much fun. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Hit the like button to share your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Alright guys, that will do it. That is who is do great stuff in his video, guys. If you saw, I mean, just the fumbles, the strip sack, the the juke move or the spin move by Tavon Austin was just exactly what I was talking about earlier. What else? I mean, there was so many things in that video. Uh, Gurley's a monster, as you can see. What else? I mean, uh, there's a lot of stuff in there. All right, so let's go back to some of these questions. I saw some of these questions while the video was going on, and one of the questions is there a notable difference between speed and power backs? Yes, there is definitely a noticeable difference. You'll see more power backs sort of, pushing the pile, gaining those extra 2 or 3 yards by falling forward. You'll see a lot of speed backs, once they get hit, go backwards or to the side. So you'll definitely see a difference. Again, I still feel like you're still going to choose the speed back over the power back, but hopefully, with some tuning, they will change that. What was another question? How did speed ratings compare to last year's release ratings? There was decreased speed among all skill players in comparison to rookies drafted in the CFM. So yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that this year. That was something that they found out last year, but they really tuned the draft classes for CFM. So yeah, you won't find that the vets had these low speed, and then all these fast guys are coming into the league. That won't happen. They're really fine tuning the draft classes as we speak right now. They're tuning those. All right. So you definitely got to get into the lab. Definitely got to get in the lab. Again, I would get in the lab and see, when is the best time to pull off some of those spin moves, or special moves. As you saw in the thing, you saw Tavon Austin do a spin move, totally juked out one of the players and got up the field for some more yardage. But then you also saw somebody try to do, a precision hurdle move, got hit, fumbled the ball. Not only did he fumble, but he also got hurt. So those are the things you guys have to look out for. You have to, lab, when to stiff arm, know who to stiff arm with, and you're going to have to take a look at the ratings. If they don't have a high enough rating, then there's no use in trying to do, the special spin move and stuff like that. So, will we ever be able to make draft classes and share them? I'm not sure, and I have mixed feelings about draft classes or making draft classes and sharing them, because in all honesty, somebody has to make the draft class, right? So that means, in all honesty, somebody knows exactly who is rated what and what their depth trait is and all of their numbers are. And once you have that, you're going to have people cheating to draft the guys that they want. So yeah, do you want the customization to do draft classes? That's fine, but who's going to do that? Like, if the commissioner says, okay, guess what, guys, I made a draft class and I'm putting the draft class together and we're importing it into this year's draft, what's to say he's not going to draft the best players because he knows who they are? This is what I'm talking about. A lot of people want all of these things, but then we had these things where, not had these things, but remember when draft guides were out and people were buying draft guides so they know who came out and who to pick up? I feel like that's going to be the same thing. I mean, Luna Diesel, if you feel differently, let me know. Like, how can we have the ability to create draft classes, but still have the ability to have some kind of randomization to it. I mean, when you want to create draft classes, do you want to just create players and then let EA put attributes and numbers to them? Or do you want to be able to edit everything about a draft class? From their weight, their age, their height, their college, the type of player they are, the scheme run, and all of their attributes. Is that something that you guys want to do? Because I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready, for stuff like that. And I'm with you, J Miles. I don't believe that editing stuff is simple. If you edit it, then I feel like that's a form of cheating. I mean, I'm not talking about like editing his face mask or his appearance or clothes. Like, you can edit the uniform, I'm fine with that. But when you start editing height, like I had somebody on Twitter the other day ask, "Yo, I want to be able to. Will I be able to edit Tom Brady's age so he doesn't retire a year after I play with him?" Really? So that's what we're gonna do now? We're just gonna edit everybody's age so they don't retire? We're gonna edit, at 30, we know there's a big drop off in halfback speed, so we're not gonna let Adrian Peterson get to 30. We're gonna keep him at 28. We're just gonna lower his age to 28 so he never gets that regression in speed because he hit a certain age. I mean, when does it stop? When does it stop? I meant as making player from NCAA, but we don't have an NCAA game. So how can we make players from NCAA and we don't even have the game? I mean, that was cool the year we had it when we could, export draft classes, but you still sort of didn't know exactly what the attributes were. You kind of could guess if you knew what the attributes were before when they left college, but I mean, we don't have NCAA. J-Rod says a setting for threshold with draft classes would be nice. For instance, the highest a zone coverage can be for a rookie is 85 or something like that. I don't know. Again, I feel like everybody wants to edit these draft classes, but I still haven't found out one person to give me a good solution to somebody not using that to their advantage. Of not editing draft classes and saying, you know what, I'm gonna edit this draft class so I can see, all the players' attributes, and then put it in my league, and then hope no one realizes that I know who the top speed running back is, even though he's probably not projected to the 4th round or something. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. All right, the poll is still going on my Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Shopmaster. The poll is still going on, and right now, the best on best is still winning. It's at 41% right now with 218 votes going. There's 12 hours left, so make sure you check that out. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. Guys, that's pretty much all I have for tonight. I'm actually going to cut out here a little bit early. Been up all day, got up real early this morning, but I definitely wanted to do a show, definitely wanted to talk about some of the things and answer some of your questions. I think next week, again, I'm going to try to secure that interview for you guys with Anthony White. Hopefully I can get him on Skype and we can do that interview. But guys, if you have any other CFM questions, make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Shopmaster. And I'm pretty sure the Nightbot will go ahead and do all my things. So I appreciate it. What's up, J.O.? Nice meeting J.O. Also. All right, so one last question. My man Luna the Diesel asks, do you ever see my player mode getting a storyline like 2K or FIFA? And I would say, yeah, I do. And I only say that because it's in FIFA now. And I feel like now there's no reason why it can't be in Madden and in any other EA game for that matter. The only thing I'm really hesitant about with Madden is the NFL. I don't think I don't think people understand how valuable the NFL or how concerned the EA how concerned the NFL is about their image. Like, it's all about the shield for the NFL, and they're not going to do anything that makes the shield look bad. And so where you can do all these crazy things in the NBA, like with 2K and the My Story and all that stuff and all the different storylines, you're not going to be able to do that with Madden in the NFL. Like, there's no way that there's going to be some kind of PED scandal. I mean, I don't even think the NFL would even allow your my player to get a concussion and have to go through concussion protocol. That's how stringent and how tight the shield is, the NFL shield is when it comes to their product. That's why you don't see ambulances on the field. That's why you don't see helmets popping off players in the game. That's why you don't see guys getting carried out on stretchers. It's not because EA doesn't want to put that in the game. It's because the NFL doesn't want people to think that's what their game is about. So that's the only thing I'm concerned with as far as the NFL and doing a my player storyline, is how creative and how much can they branch off. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to sign endorsements and stuff like that if EA ever does that for Madden. But as far as some of the shady stuff, yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't. It is what it is. The NFL is going to protect its product, and by protecting, and that's why EA is the only developer that makes the game right now, is because they wanted to protect their product, and they only wanted one company to make their game, and EA just had more money than 2K. If 2K had more money than EA, then 2K would be making football games right now and not EA. So all the people who want to hate on EA for buying out the license, they didn't buy out the license. The NFL only wanted one developer to make the game. So that's what happened there. Do you know any more information on Madden 17 Championship, how to qualify, things like that? No, but that's coming up. That's coming up soon. Believe me, they got big plans for the esports side of Madden NFL. And I know it was only talked about a little bit, but they got some big plans, and I have big hopes for Madden being an esport as we go on to Madden 17 and Madden 18 and stuff like that. Do you think that we will have a draft board one day so people can't be at CFM draft and set a list? So do I think there will be a draft board one day? Yes. I do think John White will have a draft board for us. Uh, I'm hoping by next year. Like, I feel like we made the draft board a big thing last year, and this year he knew about the draft board. We talked extensively about the draft board. He asked me to give him ideas of what he wants. I think the problem is that there's so much logic that has to go into the draft board, and it's not as simple as just grabbing people from the draft class and saying, I want him, and him, and just give me those guys, because then you're going to complain that, oh, well, why you give me 3 wide receivers? I only needed 1, even though I listed 3. So I just think there's a lot of logic that has to go into a draft board, and I know John is the type that he wants to do things right. He doesn't want to, half-ass it, so to speak. So I think it's one of those things they're going to have to think about. They're already thinking about. And hopefully we get it for Madden NFL 18, or God be blessed, a patch in Madden NFL 17. One of the things that I really like this year was the continuous support of CFM. So hopefully we can get that, and we can get some more stuff in there. It's just like a fantasy football draft, though. Not really. It's not really like a fantasy football draft. And fantasy football, you don't already have a team assembled. You're picking the best players a lot of time in fantasy football draft. I don't think it's the same thing. People have said that to me before. Like, what's the big deal? It's the same thing as picking, in fantasy, football. It's not the same. It's not the same. Let's see. Is there any chance of ever seeing another NCAA football game? I don't think so. I don't think anybody wants to touch that right now. After the ruling has been handed down that you got to pay the players to use their likeness, I don't think any other company wants to touch that right now. Now, maybe a small company will touch that, but I don't think one of these big companies want to do that right now. So, guys, that's going to do it. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Shopmaster. Follow my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search for Shopmaster TV. Follow me on Twitch at Shopmaster TV. I'm everywhere Madden wants to be. So again, guys, I appreciate it. Next week we'll have another show, episode 9. And then episode 10, I got something really special for you guys. So I can't wait for episode 10 to come. But episode 9, we're going to have a good time as well, answering a lot of questions, hopefully getting that interview with Anthony White about defensive playbooks, zones, and stuff of that matter. So, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you follow the EA Stream team. We all try to do our best to make sure you guys are entertained on the EA Sports Twitch channel. It's your boy Shopmaster, a.k.a. the Great Bear Gamer, and I'm out. Peace.